Oh, okay.
So when the Dave
So what
news
caused the
dropped,
rift? Like, what's the? Is there an issue?
So how it stems back is Call Her Daddy was essentially trying to get out of their Barstool agreement at essentially the 1 year mark of a 3 year deal. They tried to connive this plan of trying to like even Dave tweeted something about Soup Man fucking shit up today on episode 79. I think the series ended on episode 84. But eventually it got to the point to where Sophia's, I don't know if it's ex or current still. A lot of people say it's still current. Her current boyfriend, Peter Nelson, an HBO executive that killed HBO boxing so he can kind of rot in hell, in my book.
and he was also a part of the Barstool hit piece on HBO Sports.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, not too long before the hit piece was drummed up, is when Peter Nelson had lunch with Erica and was 40 minutes late to the meeting and totally could call out that he was gunning for Barstool. But they haven't done an episode in 6 weeks. I mean, Erica, if you listen to the Token CEO podcast, she delves into the whole apologizing to advertisers sort of side of it.
From there, it seems like that they wanted to renegotiate, and they've been trying to go through this for a period of time, and they kind of just even stopped. Sophia and Peter kind of just got lawyers involved, and when the lawyers got involved, they just kept demanding more and more and more.
So they were shopping. Peter Nelson was shopping a deal with another podcast network, Wonderly, where they were going to basically get the farm, get a 1-million-year deal, get IP, and basically another platform to basically have open season on. So they were shopping that when they still were locked in, dead centered to another 2 years with Barstool. So that set up.
Barstool had 100% ownership rights of the Call Her Daddy brand and the intellectual property. So even though Peter was shopping it, he didn't have the authority to shop it because the only person who could shop it was Barstool. So it was completely stupid in saying that you have this authority to do so. I mean, it just shows what level of dumbassery this guy was doing.
So this sets up the the outside meeting on Dave's deck between Alexandria, Sophia, and Dave, and where Dave offers the duo 50-50, guaranteed $500,000 each with ungodly incentives. You keep the IP was the most important thing, and he even chopped off 6 months of their term so they could leave after a year from now. And they didn't hear from them for a couple of days. They didn't take it, and every negotiation along the way until this most recent one where Alexandria breaks off and says, I do most of the work, I deserve 75% of the cut, makes me believe that their Barstool's probably going to fire back up Call Her Daddy with Alexandria, at least alone, or with somebody else. And Sophia basically cried foul that she won in her Instagram piece about how she deserved more, and it was extremely vague about it all. I was like, you're not really telling us anything. You're basically telling us that we're all right and that you're trying to muddy the waters with being vague about it.
Question. Would you guys enjoy to make $500,000 a piece to do exactly what we're doing once a week, 52 weeks out of the year?
Yeah.
With additional incentives? Yeah, for sure.
Easily.
And that's the thing. They both made close to. Alex made more.
506 to 461 was the difference.
That was the difference in their pays. They both were making close to $500,000, if not more.
And that's just in their first year with Barstool. Prior to their Barstool relationship, they really weren't anything. It's just Dave is such a good
Dave pulled
talent acquisition person. Like, he found Alex, and Alex brought along Sophia. And it's kind of one of those things that I've never listened to a single Call Her Daddy episode until Dave. took over. But I understand that it is a huge market for Barstool and has been the one women's podcast ever since it launched with Barstool.
It's basically they got the sex gauntlet. They got the pervy men and they got the women who want
females
sex
in my age. Motherfucker. Yeah, like girls in my age range love that fucking shit for some god awful reason.
It's the forbidden
that's why it was
fruit.
so popular.
That's what Erica says. It's the forbidden fruit. Nobody wants to talk about sex as openly as they do.
But that being said, even if they do start to fire up Call Her Daddy, they just signed some TikTok girl that's supposedly blown up on TikTok. They could plug and play a few people here and there to participate. I think from what I understand, part of what makes them good is their friendship. But it's my understanding, too, that Sophia thinks Alex kind of undercut her and went to them without bringing Sophia along to get that initial raise, plus to get this 75% now. And really, Alex negotiated 75% for herself and 25% to Barstool, and so left Sophia completely out of it because, according to Alex, Sophia was just done. She's just done with Barstool and didn't want to negotiate. It didn't matter how much Barstool offered. Sophia was going to be out. So now
that's a lie.
Yeah, well,
everybody's got their number.
I feel Sophia has done some dumb things because of some dumb people.
I think it's her boyfriend that's been feeding her bullshit in her brain, and it's, you know, whatever, Peter North or Peter whatever.
Been watching a lot of porn, huh?
God. The funniest part about this whole deal is this dude, the guy who everyone's calling Suit Man, looks like fucking Quagmire off.
Yeah, he does.
Giggity.
Waiting for the giggity.
I saw Lori Farquaad from Shrek.
Is that what you saw when you saw the pictures?
No,
that is pretty close.
No, somebody did a side by side. I didn't really catch any of what was going on. I had no idea. I just kept seeing memes and pictures on Twitter. So,
on Monday I just searched the hashtag Call Her Daddy just to see what people were saying, and people were saying some of the funniest shit I've ever heard about it.
Well, this is classic Barstool. I don't know how Barstool falls into this, because this is just driving more content for them to publish on all their different platforms. Token CEO is great. You know, obviously Dave, he can talk for days on this thing. And then as they come out, also Sophia just came out, 6 hours ago with a new IG post that's like kind of opposing what
stupid
Barstool perspective is. So now they're going to run with that all day tomorrow. So it's just more content for them, and I don't know how Barstool falls into these situations, because it's just a wild situation that you don't expect to happen, and I don't know, it's crazy. But
the whole model of Barstool is get interesting people in a room.
Yeah,
that's really all it's ever been, and it's just getting interesting people are fucking weird, and they do some weird shit, and they make some stupid decisions. So it always happens. Like, it's been like that since fucking 2009, 2010. Clear back to weird haircut Steph. I mean, fucking perfect example.
Yeah. Or Debbie, the driver, driving them down to, what was it? Daytona. Jeez. Driver Debbie, come on.
I don't know if any of you guys know who Pirate Simon is, but he's the first weird dude to have a controversy, in my opinion.
Oh, was that porn? Was that
was the Pirate Simon porn person? Yep.
That's right. Okay, I did remember that correctly.
Yeah,
that was before my Barstool time.
But
it's way before a lot of people's.
This saga is far from over. Dave has said, even offered up Sophia with basically what minimalist shit she said. That was just weird in my headphones. Anyway, basically with what Sophia said on IG, Dave countered, it's just like, we'll give you your own show for a year if you really want one, and it's just like left it at that. And basically, Dave's anticipating Sophia suing them for what? I don't even know. Dave's always played it by the up and up. Erica seems like they played it up in the up and up. It's just a rift between them,
She's the one in breach of contract.
right?
Contracts.
Is he?
Oh gosh, I'm so
Wow,
sorry.
Brian.
Don't invite me to your career day.